Will upgrading to the 16 Pro or Pro Max help me make better looking videos? That's what we're here to find out. We're going to focus on 5 new features, and the last one's the best. We're starting with the camera that's probably used the most, and that's the 24mm. That covers from 24 up to 48mm of focal length. Comparing the 16 to the 15, they look really similar overall. It does appear that the 16 exposes slightly brighter than the 15, but only by a small amount. When we zoom into 400%, you can see in the brick area here that the 16 shows a small increase in detail and contrast over the 15. And here, looking at the text on this lens, again at 400%, it remains slightly more legible compared to the 15 on the right. I also noticed the red A looks a bit more defined and a little more saturated when compared to the 15, where the A looks a little more pale in comparison. It's not a huge difference, but it's there. And as far as I'm concerned, any improvement to image quality, even if it's a small one, is welcome in my book. Well, what about the other lenses? Well, the 5X hasn't been upgraded, but it is now available on the 15 Pro in addition to the Pro Max. And despite not having been upgraded, it's my favorite lens on the iPhone. You get so much amazing looking compression at 120mm, and it's really good at stabilizing the footage. And you can get incredible looking parallax shots when in motion, like I got here while helping film a documentary in Indonesia last year. However, there has been an upgrade on the ultra-wide camera, which has been pretty needed. It's gone from 12 megapixels all the way up to 48, which is a pretty serious jump. So there is going to be more detail overall in your image on the ultra-wide camera, though the difference isn't a big one. However, when we zoom into 400% here, the difference in contrast and definition here in the brickwork is even more noticeable, being a little sharper and higher contrast on the 16 than the 15. This particular shot is not digitally zoomed in, it's just close up because it's a macro shot. The edges of the numbers here on the left just look a little more defined and sharp. And in this area below the numbers where it's most in focus, the texture just looks a little more defined on the 16 than the 15. We've now got a dedicated camera button. You can access the camera app with a single press. Once open, a full press will start recording, and another full press will stop recording. With a soft touch, you can adjust whatever parameter was last active. In this case, it's the zoom. And if you double soft press, you can access other camera parameters such as focal length, depth, exposure, and so on. I've only had the 16 Pro Max for a couple days, and using the button still feels a little fiddly because some of the movements required are fairly subtle and I haven't developed the muscle memory for it yet. But the longer I use it, I'm guessing the more fast and accurate I'll get with it. I was previously using the action button to launch the camera app, but now that they've added a camera-specific button, I can repurpose the action button for something else, and overall I am glad they added this feature. This next one's pretty cool if your iPhone is your one-and-done solution for video and audio. It's called Audio Mix, and it allows you new possibilities for isolating your voice. Once you've taken the shot, you go to the edit section and you'll find 4 new settings in the Audio Mix section. Standard sounds the same as it always has, recording everything. In frame isolates the voice of the person in camera while drastically reducing the ambient sounds and other dialogue happening in the background. Studio sounds more like your voice is being recorded in a professional sound studio and eliminates reverb. Cinematic leaves some of the ambient sounds around you, but still isolates your voice so it's easier to hear. And each of these settings has a dial that allows you to adjust how aggressive the effect is being applied. Now I'm testing Audio Mix with the sound of a crowd coming out of my speakers at a pretty loud volume. Now I'm testing Audio Mix with the sound of a crowd coming out of my speakers at a pretty loud volume. Now I'm testing Audio Mix with the sound of a crowd coming out of my speakers at a pretty loud volume. Now I'm testing Audio Mix with the sound of a crowd coming out of my speakers at a pretty loud volume. And finally, we've got what for me is the most exciting update. We've now got 4K 120. And when editing your video clip in camera, you can now adjust how fast it plays back between 100% all the way down to 20%, meaning you no longer have to wait until you get the footage on your computer to choose how slow you want it to look. When shooting in 4K 120, you're unfortunately limited to the 24mm lens, though you can punch in 2x to 48mm. The other lens options aren't even available. And we can now shoot in 4K 120 in Apple Log ProRes, and I am stoked to have this. There is a limitation here though, and that's that you can only do this if you're recording to an external SSD. I'm personally okay with this though, because otherwise you'd fill up your internal storage super quick because of how massive these files are. Hey, so I just got some good news while I'm editing this. You can actually shoot 4K 120 in Apple Log without connecting an SSD if you use the Blackmagic camera app. And they'll let you encode it in H.265, which means that the file sizes will be a lot smaller and won't eat up your storage so fast on your phone. Pretty freaking awesome. So it's time to answer the question that brought us here. Will upgrading to the 16 Pro or Pro Max help me make better looking or more cinematic videos? And the answer is, on a technical level, yes it can. 2 of the cameras have been upgraded, bringing more clarity and detail, though the improvements have been smaller ones. The dedicated camera button is a welcome addition and could definitely speed up your access to camera settings as well as getting the shot once you get used to how it works. Audio mix can not only help improve the quality of your dialogue, but it can be a game changer when you're trying to record video in noisy environments. And 4K 120. You gotta love that buttery slow-mo, which I believe can actually upgrade the quality of your videos and your storytelling when used in the right way. If you're coming from an iPhone 14 or earlier and you can afford it, then I would say yes, upgrade to the 16 Pro or Pro Max. If you're coming from the 15 Pro Max like I did, that's still an epic set of video cameras right there. That said, if you value incremental increases in image quality, or you want that 4K 120, or you want audio mix, then go for it. For me, I chose to upgrade because I love the tech and the culture around camera gear, and the improvements are worth it to me, especially since my iPhone is the one camera I always have with me in my pocket. And if you're into pocket-sized cameras that have an insane amount of creative potential, check out this video right here. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.